Hello and welcome to 5-Minute Math. Today we are looking at the Algebra 1 concept of solutions, graphs, and quadratic functions. This is standard A.6C in the great state of Texas, and we are using item number 24 off the 2022 released STAAR test. If you haven't done so already, please go ahead and take a moment to pause the video, work this problem out on your own, unpause it, and we will look at our answers together. So we have the solutions to p of x as 0 equals 0 as negative 7 and 7. So which quadratic function could represent p? Right? So we're actually not going to get the full quadratic function for sure because we don't have another piece of information. We're missing either the vertex or we're missing another point that it's going through. So what do we know? Well, we know that there's some type of quadratic function, so it's a parabola. And we know that it is going to have a solution of negative 7 and another solution of 7. So we need to know what that word solution means. So solution, they actually give us clues right here. So p of x equals 0. So that's going to be our y. So when y is 0, x can be negative 7 and x can be 7. So that's how we know that it crosses our x-axis, because these are actually x-intercepts or solutions, or sometimes they're called zeros. So that's all we know. So we need to make it look like our standard form here. So our standard form of the quadratic function, right, is going to be p of x equals ax squared plus bx plus c. That's what we need. Sometimes we could use the vertex form in problems like this. If we have a graph, we could use the vertex form, and that's h, that's going to be x minus h, plus k. This is very helpful because h and k are actually the x and y coordinates of the vertex. But you know what? There's no graph for us to look at, and they didn't give us anything about the vertex. So actually, whereas we can normally use that in these types of problems, that doesn't help us. We actually have to go to another form. This is the only thing that we really have here. This is the factored form. So p of x equals still a, x minus u, and then x minus v. These two expressions are very helpful because the u and the v are the two solutions. So when you can get this factored form, which is just a factored form of the standard form, right? When you have a quadratic equation like this, right, you know that it can be factored into two different expressions, these binomials. So these u and the v, these are going to be my solutions or my zeros. Well, they told us that. They told us that the solutions are going to be negative 7 and 7. So what does that look like? Well, we can substitute in p of x of 0. Okay, so we could say instead of p of x, we're going to say 0. We don't know what a is, and we're not going to be able to find out a. That's why it says which function could represent, because we don't have enough information. But we can figure out everything else. X minus u is going to be one of my solutions, so we'll say u equals negative 7. So x minus negative 7, that's going to end up being a positive 7. And then x minus v, so let's just say v is going to be my 7. Doesn't matter if we flip those or not. And so it's going to be an x plus 7, and then look at that. That's a perfect square there. So we'll go ahead and FOIL this out, and you'll see that it's going to be x squared, and then minus 7x plus 7x minus 49. Obviously, the minus 7x and then plus 7x cancel out. So we get this p of x equals a x squared minus 49. Now, that's as far as we can get. We don't know what the a is, so we have to assume it's just 1, which means it goes away, which means our answer here is F.